E.D. Cope, Copium rex, the largest known rex specimen discovered. Of course, Goliath is a challenger to the throne, but right now we're using my favorite and the largest known rex, Cope. Does Cope have what it takes to go against Jurassic World and Jurassic Park's creations? At around 11 to 12 tons, he is massive, even by theropod standards. And how does he fare up against the theropods of the Jurassic World franchise and Jurassic Park franchise? Well, we will be putting him up against a lot of large carnivores. Rexy, Zeb, Indy, Snock, the Rebirth Spinos, Ember. Oh, and we will be going from easiest to hardest, working our way from the bottom all the way up to the top. So, let's begin. Okay, this segment is gonna be pretty low because, Cope is gonna clear them. I mean, seriously, this is a mismatch. It's like he's fighting an IRL Spino. Only difference now is that they're a lot more faster, and that there's 3 of them. I mean, if you 1v1 him with any of them, well, God forbid if he ends up landing a good bite onto their necks or their spines, because he might just decapitate them with the sheer amount of force in those jaws. And the only real way they could really win is either if they jump him or if they somehow lure him into the water. And either way, it's gonna be pretty unlikely, especially the second one. I mean, they could jump him, but he's probably gonna, even if they do end up killing him or at least beating him, he's gonna probably kill at least one and severely maul the other 2. So, yeah, Cope wins mid to low difficulty, if we're being real. Anyway, moving on. Alright, now we have Cope versus Snock, the Spinosaurus who's been infamous in the community for killing Bull and giving Big Edie and Little Edie a run for their money, to say the least. But right now, let's see how this goes for either of them. Snock is faster, has more weapons, is more aggressive, and has more defense. Meanwhile, Cope is larger, stronger, more durable. Yes, he is more durable. Don't even get me started on that. Has a stronger bite force by a large margin, is smarter, and has much more experience. Anyway, so how the fight would go? Well, Cope certainly wouldn't have it easy, but yeah, Snock is not winning this. He would definitely get in some good slashes and some bites here and there, but Cope is way too heavy for him to get into a proper position where he can do the neck snap. As well as that, once Cope secures a proper bite down onto Snock's neck, it'll be over, as no amount of arms or claws will be able to save him. Anyway, Cope would win with mid difficulty, although he would suffer from severe scars and a lot of bite marks. He still wins. Anyway, moving on. Okay, this is where Cope starts to struggle a bit, as the Indominus Rex, aka Indy, has a lot of advantages on her side, including speed, intelligence, agility, weapons, and hacks. Albeit, Cope still has his bite force, experience, and size. Overall, the Indominus would get in a lot of slashes, a lot of bites, and would do a decent job onto Copium. However, one proper bite, as I said before, would do the trick. Albeit, it would be harder here as he's dealing with a faster and more nimble opponent who has strong jaws and strong arms. However, if he secures a proper bite and starts thrashing, or is able to crush down with enough force, he will pull off the victory. However, it wouldn't be easy for obvious reasons, as the Indominus Rex is obviously gonna slash, bite, and claw, and is gonna push him around, as Cope's finally fighting someone who's actually close to his weight class, as the Indominus Rex is 8 to possibly 9 tons, while Cope is still 11 to 12 tons. So he would get into some trouble, obviously, but Overall, he would still win, but with mid to high difficulty, however. Now it's Cope versus Zeb. This is a hard fight for either of them. Zeb's size estimates are all over the place. Some place him at 9 tons and 50 feet long, others place him at 60 to 62 feet long and 11 tons. We'll be using the estimate that makes him at around 11 tons and 50 feet long, aka the one that I just made up. Anyway, as for advantages, Zeb is faster, he does have a slashing bite, he has more armor, obviously, but then again, Cope still has a much higher bite force, he still has higher IQ, and he has more battle experience. As for the fight, of course Zeb is going to be able to push him around, get some bites in, slashes in, and vice versa. But at the end of the day, Cope still has a higher bite force, as I said before, and more battle experience. Zeb has fought Rexy, who is the strongest T-Rex in her verse, and there have been some rumors that he has fought Buck and Doe both at the same time, but those aren't reliable, so we'll still be going with this. Zeb is gonna toss Cope around, and he's gonna bite him, slash him, ram into him, but my point still stands. Cope's bite force is still too much, and he does have higher battle IQ, so he's still gonna know how to deal with Zeb. Cope wins, high diff. Well, here we are. The battle between the King of Hell Creek, the Queen of Isla Nublar, and the ruler of St. Hubert. Cope has a lot on his hands now. He has to deal with the strongest and most durable T-Rex in the franchise and the largest and most physically powerful T-Rex in the franchise. But will he win? Let's see. First of all, both are big enough to go head-to-head with the Cope, as are everyone else on the list. Albeit these two are the ones who will actually do a lot of damage. Rexy has tanked a lot in her life. She has tanked Zeb's attacks and Indominus Rex's attacks. She has dealt with the Velociraptors, and it has been said that she killed a Triceratops a year after she escaped from the original Jurassic Park. And Ember, while not having any particular feats, he is still clearly physically stronger than Rexy, and he is clearly capable of tackling on opponents his size and bigger. This is a very tough fight, as Rexy and Ember are both going to land in a lot of hits in their independent fights against Cope. Cope is going to get bitten, slashed, and pushed around. These fights are the closest in the video, but ultimately, Cope still wins. His stronger bite force, his higher battle intelligence, and his experience and his physical weight will help him succeed in taking the dub. Cope will be bitten, bloody, and bruised, but in the end, he wins. Very high to extreme diff. Copium Rex wins.